What's good, everyone? We're back. We're vibing. We're gonna try something. See if this works. Okay, this might actually work. This angle is so interesting. Alright. What do we got? What up? What up, Jake? I made it in. At home gym, good stuff, brother. I have 40-pound adjustable weights now. I was talking about earlier. Hell yeah, I just did 102 20-pound presses with that best form possible. Love that, brother. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. Good stuff. You know what I'm also planning on doing, maybe? Setting up like a meeting where y'all could like hop in the lives and like do like a group like push-up thing. So we might do that soon. So yeah, if any of y'all are interested in that, you know, call it out. We'll talk about it. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay. I'm starting to see the patterns here. Yo, what you been up to, bro? Anything new going on? Like I said, bro, just been vibing out here in the summer, coaching, making content, trying to help everyone out, basically. Just been vibing out here. You know, giving out life advice. Been doing a lot of lives recently, so that's kind of what I've been on. Trying to get the best angle here, guys. You don't understand. The best angle doesn't work. Like, it literally, like, I'm telling you guys right now, I'm, like, setting everything up. It doesn't work. Just doesn't, because that red angle right there is pointed directly here. And I'm telling you right now, I got nothing to sit on here. Unless I want my bed to be all, you know, screwed up. Which, like, who wants that, you know? Who wants all that going on? No one wants that. So I don't know, man, because like the optimal angle is this, quite literally. The optimal angle is this. The optimal angle is this, 1000%. I would love to figure out a way to keep my camera propped up where I could talk to you guys and have a conversation literally like this without me talking, without me doing anything. And I might have to set up my room like that, low key. I might have to just do that. Because seriously, like, I can't. Or I could just, oh man, I don't know. Are you going to do jiu-jitsu? I remember we were talking about something like that. Right now I'm just doing a little bit of boxing stuff. But I might get into it a little bit in the future. But yeah, trying to get this angle, guys, is not fun. Not fun because I want something that's unachievable, like always, and that becomes an issue. It really does. Because it's all good in theory. It's all good in theory. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Because the angle I'm trying to get is this. And I'm not going to be able to get it. There's no possible way for me to get it where the angle is like this. Also, like, set up the way I want. No, it just doesn't work. Because if this wants to go, yeah, no. I'm going to have to move my entire bed. That's the only way I'm going to be able to do this angle. Unless, Jesus Christ. I'm making this hard on myself for no reason. Because I have this issue, massive issue, where I strive for perfection. And, yeah, I'm not going to do that today. Sorry. Or I'm not going to do that right now with this specific thing. Because it's just going to cause me too much headache. And I can't have that. I can't have that, unfortunately. So we're just going to do this angle instead. And it's going to be A-okay. We're not against it. I'm not against it. So yeah, this is what it is, guys. I'm sorry. Oh man. When I used to start boxing, that's what's up. How do you like it? It's been good, brother. It's been real fun. It's definitely been a good time. Faux show. Tape it to a fan or ceiling, bro. Honestly, maybe. It really depends. Like, if you guys are okay with this angle, then it is what it is. I really don't care. I'm more just like, I don't know. It bothers me more, I guess. But if it doesn't bother you guys, I don't care. Like, if you guys are okay with just looking at me this way when I look just red and dark, I don't know, then it is what it is. It is what it is. But, start a poll. And hopefully that doesn't end the live. If it ends the live, I'm probably not going to come back, to be honest. That's a sign from God. Did you win today? Let's run it. If you do that, you should turn the fan on. Yeah, that'd be fun for you guys. Remember when that game, what was it, Pokemon Go was out, and people would literally tape their phone to a fan to get more steps so they didn't have to walk. Like, that showed how lazy, like, our generation really became. Because the whole point of the game was to get people outside more, to get people more active, to get people to, like, walk around more. And you literally have people that are so like desperate to win and cheat that they literally just tape a phone to their fan to try to look like they get more steps. It's kind of insane, actually, when you really think about it. That was a kind of insane time too. That defeated the purpose of it. Yeah, I know. It definitely defeated the purpose of it. But I kind of want to get on a tangent. So someone say something crazy, bro. Or someone get me to yap about something, like some advice or some like problem y'all got, like some story, some controversial statement. Like let's just run it, bro. Like I need some action. You know what I mean? We need some action this live. So, yeah, just give me some questions. Give me if you want life advice. You know, let's just run through it. I'm just trying to, you know. What up, Luan? Yo, halftime breaks in here. Give halftime break a sub if y'all haven't already. He's gonna be streaming hella these next couple days, giving out lots of good soccer advice and stuff like that, and just advice about football in general. Let's see what these votes are saying. Did you win today? Yes. Okay, everyone's saying they won. Fluffy hair, final boss. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, you know what it is. It's all just becoming fluffier and fluffier and fluffier. That's the vibe. But I want to know those people that said, "Did you win today?" Like, I feel like that's cap, because the day's not over. Like, if you were to ask me if I won today, I would say, "Bro, I'm in the fourth quarter, man." Like, that's what I would say. So just be careful with the whole like, "Did you actually win?" Because did you actually win? Jesus, my leg is so sore right now. I pray that everyone can feel the type of leg soreness that I'm feeling right now, because honestly, wow. Okay, that's crazy. Watch closely as we aggravate the animal with a simple phrase. Cereal is great for your health. We must be careful with as this phrase can cause a creature to engage in unpredictable yapping. Well, I feel like we should just take out everything that you said except for the cereal is great for your health. So I notice a lot of people get this misconception that cereal is great for your health. And the reason that they get this misconception is because it says on Cheerios, heart healthy. Now, why does it say this? Like, have you ever questioned why does it say heart healthy on Cheerios, Honey Nut Cheerios? Like, this doesn't seem healthy. Why does it say heart healthy? Well, that's actually because there are people that are trying to pay scientists to put that on there to make money. Did you know that? Now, you guys heard of 3 meals a day, obviously, right? We all know about 3 meals a day. I'm sure we all know about that. That's what we usually go off of in the USA. Did you know that 3 meals a day, that whole entire idea and concept was made by a guy named Kellogg? Kellogg cereal. Yeah, that guy, he made cereal. He wanted men to eat cereal in the morning. Why did he want men to eat cereal in the morning? Well, he wanted men to eat cereal in the morning is because he found out that men eating meat gave them a lot of energy and high libido, and he didn't like that. He didn't want that. He wanted men to be very low energy and more controlled, because if they're controlled, they're easier to, do, work for them and, not think outside the box. So he promoted cereal and told all the doctors, hey, promote cereal, tell everyone it's healthy. And now we are the fattest, sickest, laziest country of all time, with people that are eating cereal every morning thinking that's healthy. That to me is epidemic in itself. Are protein bars good? No, they're not good. I don't know why people want to think that these things that have very little, animal protein in them as things that are good. The thing is, man, the protein bars, the reason that they even got popular in the first place is because people want an easy way out. They want an easy way to just carry something. But the truth is, your protein bar should be a steak. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So, like, I worked out, then I walked, then my friend and I hung out. Good stuff. Or then me and my friend hung out. Yeah. And protein bars not good, bro. So get off the protein bars, eat steak, eat eggs, get actual animal protein. Stop giving me the whole, oh, but protein bar says protein on it, so it's like, and like, no. I don't care, okay? It has bullshit in it. Most likely has seed oils. Most likely has vegan protein. It's just not good stuff that you don't want to put in your body, okay? Even if it does have high protein, which, I mean, most protein bars have horrible protein ratios. It's like usually 13 to 26. And like if you were to just get a steak, you could get 80, which is 4 times the amount of protein for an actual nutritious steak instead of some stupid protein bar that's probably gonna taste not even that great and then like make you feel like not good. No, it's not the vibe. Get like some of y'all need to get out of the whole like protein peanut butter like get out of that. Like get out of that stage and just egg, steak, salmon, you know? Egg, steak, salmon, chicken, you know? Oops, play GAG. What's the worst that thing that says it's healthy? Okay, I like that question. Worst thing that says it's healthy? Probably the Beyond Burger. Basically all like vegan products that try to claim to be healthy that are like making pretend meat, so like pretend bacon, pretend eggs, pretend burger, like basically Beyond Meat is really, really something that they try to say is healthy that really, really isn't healthy. Also the protein shakes, man. The protein shakes, the protein powders, the protein bars, all of those things, they try to make it seem like it's super healthy when it really isn't. Also, like a lot of diet things. A lot of people don't understand that just because it's diet doesn't mean that all the other bad shit is. Sometimes it just means that sugar's out of it. So, basically, you have to think like most things that are in the aisles of the store that they try to say are healthy are probably not healthy. And unless it came from an animal or from the ground, it's probably not healthy. You know, how do people have those arm veins that are like really visible? I want to get those. Bro, train then. Like train hard and train with high intensity, slow, controlled movement. Haven't you noticed all those calisthenics dudes, those guys that are on the pull-up bars, they're just doing muscle-ups and all that. They're like holding it for a really long time. They're very veiny and they have like, okay, here's the hack, okay? I used to work at American Ninja Warrior gym, okay? I was a trainer there. I noticed every single trainer, the second I got there, had tricep veins. Now, I had a tiny bit of tricep veins, but nothing extreme. And I noticed the more I worked there for 2 months, I literally got more tricep veins. And I think the reason wasn't because of, like muscle growth. It was because of muscle strength and ligaments and tendons getting stronger and your body just getting stronger. And that's what gives you that cut look. So that's why you see those like rock climbers, they're super cut. Or you see those like, again, like calisthenics guys that are constantly on pull-up bars, they're super cut. That's what gives you that cut body, is being able to really move your body weight and swing your body weight. I'm just saying, that's what it is. That gives you the primal look, the real human look of being able to do real human things, not just lift weight up and down, Okay. Is whey protein powder good? I eat 30 grams of it every day. I mean, look, like I said, bro. Like, if you want to be optimal, then no, it's not good, okay? You got to start eating real food, okay? Real food is always going to trump protein powder. But if you're in a rush all the time, if you're like, I don't have any time to make these meals, like I need to get in like 3 meals or 4 meals a day, 5 meals a day, and I just can't, make all of them at once, I can't make the whole foods all at once, then yeah, bro, you're going to have to be like, no, sorry, I need the protein shake. But if you're able to make good meals and you're still saying, no, I think the protein shake's better, you're wrong. Nice body, thank you. Is organic good? Yes, bro, organic is good, of course. But also, don't get fooled. Some people try to say things are organic when really they're not. Like, I've seen organic lollipops, and I'm just like, that's BS. Like, there's nothing organic about those. Like, just because it does, like there's certain things that people do, like, they take out certain words, but you have to look at the ingredients, bro. And I would say a hack, if you want to get organic fruit, it's guaranteed to be the most organic possible in the USA, is to get frozen fruit. There's 3 hacks that are happening. 1, you're getting the most organic because it's not sprayed because they freeze it right away. 2, it's the cheapest one because it's frozen fruit. 3, you're getting like 3 times as much because they can put it all in one. So frozen blueberries are like the life hack for cheapness and health. Hello, I do eat real food and stuff, but like protein powder makes it easy since it's a lot of protein. I don't really like overeating because of how it feels. Well, then I don't know just how you could say you're telling me that your body feels better drinking protein shakes than eating steak and eggs, but okay. For me personally, the protein shakes did not make me feel as good. Yo, I like the grind, 3 streams in one day. Keep going, bruv. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to just get some stuff going, get a little stream going, get a little pop going, you know what I mean? Like, the truth is, we got the sauce, we got the ecosystem, we got the loyalty. All we need is that little boost of, like, a little energy to really get going, really get the stream going. I see we're getting more likes. I already saw we just got a new subscriber. So we're trying to get the stream really, really move into, like, a place of, like, I'm trying to give some really, really good advice and maybe talk about some really controversial stuff. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, make y'all better versions of yourselves while also, keeping it real. Keeping it as real as possible for you guys. That's also my plan, obviously. Because if I'm not keeping it real, then what's the point of even doing any of this? Like, that's my thing. And again, I'm not looking to make my fans comfortable. I'm looking to make my fans better, okay? So for me, I'm not like, oh, like, it's okay to be, where you are right now. I'm like, no. Like, if you want to change. Like, I'm not trying to be like, I'd rather you be temporarily mad at me for a lifetime of happiness than, like, comfortable with me. And then you're sad for the rest of your life. Yo, 2.5 months till NFL. Yeah, bro. I can't believe you're already on, like, the countdown. I don't even think, like, but I guess it's true. Like, that's how I used to think like that, though. I remember, like, doing one of my summer trips and literally, like, July 11th, I'm like, started thinking about fantasy football. I'm like, fantasy football started. I started doing, like, mock drafts and stuff, bro. I used to be so into it. Jesus Christ. I don't know what I was thinking at that time. Just feels like eating a lot of protein and food, like full eating in form, eggs, ham, steak, milk, etc. Shooting for 100 grams of protein every day. Bro, I don't know how much you weigh, but honestly, I don't think you weigh 100 pounds. If you weigh 100 pounds, then you should be eating like 150 grams of protein. Like, I think you should be eating 1.25 to 1.5 like pound of protein per body weight. Some people say it's just a pound of protein or gram protein per body weight. I think it's like 1.5 times. You guys have to understand, Ronnie Coleman, bodybuilder, he was like 300 pounds. At his peak, he was eating 600 grams of protein a day. That's double. 600 grams. Now, yes, you guys don't need to take it that far, but you need to understand that mindset, okay? You need to understand what level it actually takes to achieve greatness, Seen people make videos in March talking about 6 months till. I know it's crazy, but those are just the football addicts at the end of the day. Mason, hey, I sub. Thank you, brother. Yeah, thank you to the subs. I just saw some new subs. We're literally on road to 2,100. We might hit it tonight. Also, I'm going on a trip tomorrow. I'm leaving at like 3:30 a.m. So I might stream like me in the car. Like, I'm going to Sedona tomorrow. So that's gonna be chill. I'm gonna do a little hike. So maybe I'll stream that. Maybe I'll stream the hike, But it's definitely going to be a good time. Can you still start working out if your diet is bad? Because I have a bad relationship with food, and eating a healthy amount of good foods is hard for me. Brother, you have to understand something, okay? Like, the whole, can you still start working out if diet's bad? Bro, you could start working out as long as you can type words on the phone. Like, if you're able to type to me this question, you could start working out. You can do 10 push-ups right now. I know you can. And if you really, really can't, do one. And if that one really, really hurts, do it on your knees, okay? But do something, okay? The whole idea of like, oh, I don't know, like my diet might not be too good. Like, the fact that you're even moving, like asking these questions, like, means you could work out, okay? Like I said, unless you're in like a wheelchair, like, you should be able to work out. So stop worrying about the diet. Yes, you need to get your diet better. Yes, it'll help with working out 1,000,000,000,000%. But this whole idea that like, oh my God, I have a bad diet, like I shouldn't even start working out. Like, what are you talking about? How about you get one thing right, then you can get the other thing right later. And we all know people that have a horrible diet that still look great, okay? Maybe that's you, maybe it's not. But you'll never know unless you try. So how about you give it a shot? Mason, what up, what up? Baseball is one sport I don't understand at all, and 162 games is diabolical. I know, it's crazy, it's stupid. It's probably one of the stupidest, like, parts of the sport is, like, why are we doing 162 games? I know the reason, though. The reason is because you can't really get hurt in baseball. The reason that there's not 162 games in the NFL is because it would end after, like, the first, month, because people would be too hurt, If they were literally, if there was like 4 or 5 NFL games a week for these teams, they would all be done. Like, everyone would be injured. Bro, we have 17 weeks and half the rosters are injured, bro. Like, it would be impossible. But for baseball, no one gets hurt. It's like, if someone were to get hurt in baseball, like, that's a story. Like, people are finding out about that. Like in NFL, it's like, he's dealing with this, like he's dealing with that. Like, baseball, it's like, whoa, what? So that's why I think they're just able to have more games because it's just less running, less. Or, but I just couldn't imagine being like an equipment manager for a baseball team. That must be so boring. Because at least if like you're the coach, you're the main guy, or if like you're a big fan, like you have more control. But imagine like not having control and you have to watch. I will be. I don't even know. I don't even know what that kind of vibe is. Thank you, bro. Football is the best sport. Hell yeah. I have a horrible diet, but I have a six pack. But I go outside like 2 hours a day and hoop. But I think it's combined with fast metabolism. Yeah, bro. Some people could have really, really good metabolism, and at the end of the day, there's good things about having a fast metabolism, and there's bad things. Having a fast metabolism, yeah, you can keep a six pack even eating shitty food, but you don't really know how unhealthy you actually are because there could be a lot of internal fat. Also, it's harder for you to put on muscle if you have a faster metabolism, so that makes things harder for you overall when you're actually trying to put on the muscle. When some people that have a slower metabolism, when they're trying to put on the muscle, it comes a lot easier. So then all they really need to worry about is the cutting part. So that's the thing is like if you're have a fast metabolism, yes, you get the six pack. Congratulations. But you're in for a long ride of building muscle, especially if you're long and lengthy and taller and long arms, bro. It's gonna take a while to fill out that frame, bro. That's just how it works. Like the truth is, like it could take 5 years to put on like 8 to 10 pounds of muscle each year, and then like less and less because that's just how it works. Like that's a while. That takes a really really long time, and it sucks. But also, once you do it, you feel really good, and it's really earned. So you kind of just have to think about it that way. What up? What up, Missouri? Yo, what up? Hey, bro, how you doing? I'm doing good. Jake, I have a question. What up? What up? Did you win today? 60% said yes, 40% said no. All right, let's go with the 40%. Why y'all not win today, bro? Laziness? Not disciplined? Let a hater talk you down and keep you from your stuff? That's the worst. Can't allow that ever. The one thing I'll tell you guys, if you are getting haters, I absolutely need you to fuel that into fire, okay? Because if not, the hater wins, and you cannot let the hater win. You absolutely cannot. What's your favorite movie? I don't have a favorite movie. I can give you like 5 movies I really like. Avatar, Hangover, Dumb and Dumber, Kingsman, oh, sorry, that's 4. I'm only gonna give you 4. I have one to ask, but it isn't anything about diet or metabolism. Bro, just shoot. This isn't Ask Me Anything, bro. As long as, it's not like super off topic, I mean, I'm pretty much gonna answer it. And if I don't, then maybe come up with better questions. You know what I mean? Like, some people are like, oh, can I really ask you anything? And I'm like, bro, not with that. Like, I don't like all that preface. But if you want to ask me something, let's ask. Yeah, it's tough to gain weight. I have wiry strength. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. So that's your challenge, but you have to own the challenge and be like, okay, how do I navigate this challenge and win? This is the issue with a lot of guys and just people in general, like just humans. Okay, they go with like this mentality of like, okay, wait a second, like I have this going good for me. This is good, so I don't need to worry about that. But and it's like, no. You have that going good for you, so now worry about making it better, okay? And then like, oh, I have this bad for me, so like I guess I don't need to worry about that because it's already bad. It's like, no. You have this bad for you. Now make it the least bad possible, okay? That's the entire point. You guys don't think like, and I know who I'm talking to here. You know who I'm talking to. You need to understand that you need to minimize your weak points. If there's weak points, you need to minimize them, and you need to maximize your strengths. Okay, when you see strengths of yours, you need to maximize. You need to enhance it. You need to show this is the strength I have, and I'm going to get better at it because I already have this advantage. I subbed, but I have to go. Thank you, brother. That means a lot. What's up, bro? How's your day? Pineapple on pizza? Sure, brother. What do you call a bear with no teeth? I have a job Morant body type. Yeah, me too, bro. And guess what? Unless you want to become like Ja Morant, I would say you start throwing on some muscle. Because the truth is, like, that body type, it goes well if you're like an athlete, like a main basketball player and you have some sort of skill. But for the most part, if you're not putting on muscle on that body type, it's not going to be a good situation. You have to understand that, like, for the most part, most dudes that are skinny like that, they need to, like, make a decision. Like, am I just going to be skinny for the rest of my life and figure something else out? Or am I going to actually just put on muscle and just not have the situation? I choose put on the muscle. That's what I say. I say just throw on the muscle. Just say screw it. I'm not going to take the risk of feeling skinny and having no other qualities to me. I'm just going to be muscular. So then everything else will be a little bit easier. You know what I mean? That's my approach. Like, and this is why I say I'd rather be a jacked homeless guy than a fat rich guy. And I wholeheartedly stand with that statement, because at the end of the day, like, you don't understand, like, the life experience of being jacked is not just in the gym. It's everywhere. It's when you wake up, it's at 10:30, it's at 11, it's at 11:30, it's at 12. You know, it's all the time. It's 24/7. That's what I think the one thing I didn't realize about having, like, a good physique, like, you don't just have it, like, for after that workout. Like, you have it for the rest of your life until you choose to, fall off the grind. And in that case, you would deserve to have a horrible looking physique after you've fallen off the grind, or at least a worse looking version of it, because your, action is a direct, direct cause of your results. Ah, man. What up, what up? What up, Lil Green Bean? Was good, bro? Are you in college? Yes, I am in college. I'm in college, and I'm trying to help people, grow and just, become the best versions of themselves. That's really what I'm trying to do. Now, I definitely don't have your type of body. I'm more skinny, but I don't have brute strength. I have basketball strength, shoulder bumping, strong core, dexterity, forearms, and strength, fast twitch muscles. Here's what I'm gonna tell you, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know this sounds crazy, but you probably have it's probably easier for you to put on muscle than me. I'm gonna keep it real. I know that sounds crazy. You're like, what are you talking about? But you have to understand something, bro. I was 5'10", 5'11", 100 pounds. Okay? So that is not good genetics. That is, and I was, skinny. I wasn't super strong at all. I did have fast twist muscles. I was very fast. I did, like, have good core strength. But I'm telling you right now, bro. Exactly. You just said I'm 5'8", 130, bro. I'm telling you right now, bro, you could easily put on more muscle, 1,000%, if you just work hard. I'm telling you, bro. I'm going to keep it real, man. You don't understand how bad my genetics are. I mean, you could look at my old videos and make a assessment for yourself, but I'm telling you, bro, if I had seen the number 130 previous to putting on serious amounts of weight and size and muscle, like, it would have been insane. So for you to already be 130 and not be super concerned about your meals and that to me is like, bro, come on. Like, you could easily put on more muscle. You could easily get bigger and stronger. Yes, the fast metabolism hurts, but at the end of the day, it's not. To me, it sounds like you have a slower metabolism than me. And if I could do it, I'm gonna keep it real, guys. I'm gonna keep this one 1,000%. And this only goes for bodybuilding and, like, getting bigger and stronger. This does not go for making money. This does not go for intellect at all. If I could do it, you could do it. Done. If I was able to do it, you are able to do it, because I had the worst genetics. Okay? I'm not saying that you guys can, I'm not saying there's other things, but when it comes to just purely genetics, if I was able to change my body, my horrible genetics, literally, when I tell you, like, some of the worst genetics any person in the lifting industry would want to start out with, I was able to get over it, because the one benefit for my shitty genetics was this. See my wrist? Very, very skinny wrist, right? Here's the benefit of having a skinny wrist. You also have a skinny waist. So, when you have a skinny waist and skinny wrist, and you take pictures and you flex in the mirror, you are going to look a lot bigger because your waist is so skinny. So you will have way more of a V taper look, which is what all men are looking for. So if that's the case, then you can use that to your advantage because it'll motivate you because you do have a more bodybuilder-like physique because of the skinny waist. So now all you need to do is maximize your strengths of the skinny waist and, maybe broader shoulders, and minimize your weaknesses of skinny wrists and skinny arms by, doing as much arms and, forearms as possible. Okay, I'll be in the gym, but I mainly work on just arms, mainly lateral raises, shoulder press, because I'm trying to get the SGA shoulder pump in my bag. Bro, start doing push-ups too, please. Get that chest for me. I have a huge waist and small wrist. Well, what you are describing to me sounds like skinny fat. And when you are skinny fat, a lot of people are like, oh, should I cut or should I bulk? Bro, you should be concerned about putting on as much muscle as possible. I'm done with the whole should I dirty bulk, or oh, should I cut down? Like, bro, just worry about training hard, eating your protein, and getting good recovery, okay? Like, this is the issue, is a lot of people that are in these weird middle positions, like, they don't know what route to take, so they end up taking zero route. It's the worst thing ever. It's like, just do something, okay? Stop thinking, like, oh, like, I'm gonna start this in, like, a week. Like, no. And it's always funny when someone tells me something like, oh, I'm going to start my gym my gym thing in a month, or I'm going to start next week. Unless you are already in the process of another goal, I look at you and I just don't take it serious. Like, if you're already in the gym and you're, like, in the gym, right? And then you're like, hey, I'm starting a new split this week. That's fine. Totally fine. Changing things up is great. But if I know that you're never in the gym, like, you consistently miss the gym, and you're like, hey, man, I'm finally going to start next week, I don't take that serious. I don't believe that. I don't believe that until I see you, like, in the gym consistently. I won't believe it. You know what I mean? I used to do military push-ups a day. I stopped 2 months ago. I got locked back in. I don't know why you'd stop, though. Are military push-ups good for chest? Bro, all push-ups are good for the chest. But just do regular push-ups, too, okay? That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all need to stop, like, being like, is this good for this? Is this good for this? Like, we know push-ups are good for everything. So just do 200, 300 push-ups, and then you won't make any mistakes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying is, like, some of y'all aren't at the level where I'm giving you advice about, like, what's good for chest or what's not good for chest. You want to know what's good for chest? Fucking incline dumbbell, Fucking chest flies, Those are good for chest. But am I going to tell you that? No, because you might not even know what that is, or you might have never even seen that before. You know what I mean? Or you never even done push-ups in your entire life. So why am I going to give you stuff on incline dumbbell or chest flies or frickin' cable flies or dips or weighted dips, like all these different good chest exercises that I would love to tell you guys about. It's hard for me too because you guys haven't even done your push-ups yet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to give someone the optimal chest exercises if they can't even hit me some fucking push-ups. Sorry. Is what it is. Bet how many push-ups a day should I do? Bro, like 300. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, guys sometimes have to just go beast mode. Like, you guys have this mindset where it's like, oh, like, what's, like, good? Like, what's, like, bro, like, go until you can't anymore. Like, honestly, I wouldn't even count, to be honest. I would just do, like, throw on a hype song and just do as many push-ups as you possibly can, okay? So, like, maybe go for, like, 20, 30, 40, 50 or something like that, and then go for it, and then once you stop and you train, you're done, you fall to the ground, okay? And then you stop, and then you throw on another song, and then you do it again, all right? Then you stop, and then you throw on another song, and then you do it again. And you just keep doing it until you're like, I'm done, I can't anymore. Like, I want to throw my phone at the wall. Like, I can't do this anymore. Like, literally get mad at the workout itself, and then you're done. That's another thing, too. Like, some of y'all don't get, like, enough out of the workout, because you don't get, like, enough out of you don't get enough out of the workout or like the thing. Like, honestly, after a set of a machine, like, you want to leave that machine like, fuck that machine, I hate that machine, get it away from me. That should be your mindset, because you're so tired of it because you work so hard on it. That should be your mindset. As I know it sounds crazy. Might be a dumb question, but if I do 300 push-ups a day, will that mess up my jumper, throw my strength off? Bro, oh my god, we have to get out of this mindset right now. Holy, 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 holy. Holy, 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 holy. It's not even a dumb question, it's just a question that holds you back from getting stronger, and it's really annoying. So you're worried about your jump shot, which is, who gives a fuck? Like, get stronger, okay? Like, it's probably not going to affect it that much because your strength gains, increases aren't going to be that quick. Your body's going to get used to it quicker. Yes, if you just lift right then and there and then you shoot some hoops, things are going to be off. That's how it works for sure. But bro, just get stronger and then like don't worry about it, because at the end of the day, your basketball skill isn't going to get any better like athletically unless you get like a lot stronger. Like, why don't you give yourself that advantage too? Not just be the guy that can only shoot when he's open in the 3-point shot. Maybe you make yourself an actual like physical threat that could also shoot. You know what I mean? Like y'all need to understand, like, and the whole thing about like, like getting strong, like basketball players, like, bro, there's a picture of Klay Thompson like pressing the 110-pound dumbbells, saying like, nah, this is BS. Like this isn't how it works, bro. Like, get strong. This is one of the best shooters of all time, getting strong, because that's how you do it. Okay, as long as your strength can align with your jump shot over time, as long as your strength isn't increasing like week by week, unless you're on roids, that's not gonna happen. So don't worry about that. Okay, no one's a genetic freak in here. Okay, I'm gonna do 15. I'll be back when I'm done. Good stuff. Are rice cakes good? I mean, here's the thing, bro. Like, if you're on a cut, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're like a bodybuilder, like I see the point, because you can smear like peanut butter, you can smear like different stuff on it. You can make them all good, and they're like good snacks to eat, and it's not too many calories. But if you're like starting out and you're like trying to think like, oh, rice cakes are what I see people eat and they're big, so I'm gonna eat them. That's just dumb. Okay. Like I said, if you're cutting and you're just looking for new, like, different stuff that tastes good, that feels like bigger and than what it actually is, that's fine. But if you're like, other than that, bro, like, there's really no point. I'm being serious. Like, there really is no point. Unless you really like them, like, and you, like I said, you're trying to cut. Like, but like, I feel like most of y'all are not trying to cut here. We're trying to put on muscle. And if we're trying to put on muscle, rice cakes are not optimal. Sorry, they're just not. Sorry, I just can't. I'm sorry, they're just not optimal. What up, Knox? What's good? Yeah, so doing a Sedona trip tomorrow, just a hike tomorrow. I'm doing a hike tomorrow. It's gonna be chill. I'm gonna probably stream some of it, which is gonna be good. Yeah, just looking to win the day. But, I would say one good thing. I don't know how long y'all been like watching me for, but I feel like I've been streaming for about a month. And what I'll tell you guys is I looked back, and because I feel like I was feeling a little like, damn, like I feel like I haven't done that much this month. And I looked back and I realized, no, we've had a lot of streams this month. We've done a lot of different stuff, and we've grown a lot on this channel. So it's been real good. So I would say if you've been on your grind too, maybe take a look back at a month and see how much you've grown, see how much your kind of mind has changed, and how much you've evolved the past month. That's always good to kind of look at those things, because you can really see like, oh, where was my mind at there? Like, how was I thinking then? How am I thinking now? The funny thing is, I can connect myself back to about a year, 2 years ago. But the truth is, sometimes I go back to these like times like 4 or 5 years ago, and I just can't not tell you what I was thinking at that time. But the truth is, I wasn't thinking much, because I feel like I had a lot of plaque in my brain from such a bad diet, and social media and video game rotting my brain, that like I try to think back to what I was thinking about at that time. It was like not much, like really not much. Like, how to be happier, I guess. Like, it took like me a lot of like diet detoxing and like working out and getting nature and like really optimizing testosterone and like cognitive function, and like, really upgrading my intellect to like understand like, wow, like I wasn't thinking about anything before. It was a whole different situation. What up? You first. What up? Was good. What up? Yeah, we're just out here doing a late night stream, or not super late, but I noticed that my streams do the best either early in the morning or later at night. That's just how it is. That's how my streams work. They don't do good in the middle of the day. I think part of the reason is because my viewership is kind of people all over the world, not really United States oriented, way more like, like Europe, like, it's just all over, because a lot of people in the United States, they don't really like my stuff. It's too like real and authentic, and they don't like some dude calling them out for being a lazy piece of shit. You know what I mean? They'd rather watch some lazy piece of shit fast person eat, fat people food and feel better about themselves. They don't want to have some guy call them out and make them feel like shit. They don't. They, you know what I mean? But yeah, let's not get too deep into that. What up? What up? What up? What up? What's good? Sup? How's your day been? It's been good, bro. What up? What up? What's up? What up? What's good? Okay, just did 50. Hell yeah, good stuff, bro. Good stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Get those push-ups in. But yeah, I always notice my streams just do better either in the morning or at night. So I think the plan really is to consistently do a morning stream, okay? Tomorrow I'm going on a hike. I'll try to stream for you guys either the car ride there or like when we hit a certain spot. But honestly, I don't know, man. I don't know if my biggest concern is that there's going to be like no service. So I'm going to be unable to stream no matter how much I actually want to stream. But hopefully, who knows? Maybe there is good service. Maybe the car ride's good. Maybe like I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, that's basically the plan. Is just get going, get moving, get vibing, and yeah, it's gonna be a good hike. I'll probably take a little make a couple shorts from it, TikTok shorts, YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, stuff like that. I'm not gonna make a whole vlog. I might make like a day in the life like little mini short that looks like a little vlog, but I'm not gonna make a whole vlog. I can't do all that for a video. Sorry, just not big enough, not long enough, unfortunately. So that's what we're gonna do. But I'm definitely excited to get that out because I haven't been on a hike in like probably a month, and I'm ready to kind of get out in nature and kind of, just get back to that mindset of wavelength of like, I'm on Earth. We're on a floating rock. Yes, I have these goals in mind, but also it's important to just appreciate, like, just Mother Nature itself, Earth itself. And I'm not trying to sound cliche or anything. I just genuinely think that's important for human health. Like, I feel like anybody that's, like, smart understands that how nature is good for your brain. Like, you don't really need to be super, like, spiritual to know that. I feel like you could be pretty logical and still understand that. I'm gonna take a 10-minute break, then do 50 more. Hell yeah, brother, love that, bro. My brother is being SK, and he's arguing with me past week about cereal isn't bad for him. Holy damn, yes it is. I know, bro. I need help. Yeah. Well, honestly, yeah. We're gonna need to fix that whole situation because we can't have people telling me that or people saying that cereal isn't bad. So yeah. Man, you're the best. I sub to you. You're the best YouTuber. Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm just also what I noticed when I was streaming with my friend is like some of y'all say like, Spanish or Portuguese, and I don't know what you guys are saying. So I just simply look at it. I'm like, okay, that's it. I don't know what that is, and I just, kind of just goes over my brain. He reads it and he knows exactly what it is. I'm like, damn, how many like comments have I missed out on because I don't know a certain language? And I also wonder how many people go on my live and then they're like, I don't understand what this dude's saying. And then they just leave. Like they try to say something because they're like, maybe he speaks my language, and I just don't. I forget, like there's probably people out there that see me talk and they're like, because they don't speak my language, they're like, I have no idea what this person's saying. He's just saying things. It's kind of interesting, but that's how it works. It's because, it's all correct me, Yep, gotcha. Oh, man. But, still, you gotta kind of win in these situations. And I know we're getting back to the whole talk about winning stuff, but let's think about this for a second. Let's all think hard and deep about the reality of you that doesn't work hard, that chooses to stay lazy, to stay scrolling in bed, to stay, eating bad food. What does that look like? Does that look like a fun life, or does that look like a very lonely, depressing life? I'll answer that for you. It looks very lonely and depressing, or at least it does for me when I picture that. So, how do you figure that out? Well, one of the best ways to figure that out is to be like, okay, how do I avoid this? How do I avoid this reality that I don't want? And if you haven't thought of the reality that you don't want, think of it. That's how you get yourself to that point. Because if you don't have that vision of like the thing that you don't want, you'll never be motivated to put yourself in that survival mode to not get it. So once you can get that vision established of what you don't want your life to be, it's going to be a lot easier to navigate the motivation to start really, really trying hard in your life and actually going for things. Because now you have all the fuel, okay? Some people are blessed with a bunch of fuel. Some people are blessed with no fuel, okay? And like I said, I actually feel bad for the people, with no fuel. Because, yes, maybe life has come a little bit easier to them. Maybe they have better genetics, better upbringing, but they don't have any fire. They don't have any edge. They don't have anything that said, hey, life never punched them in the face. They just, life just was pretty easy. And because of that, they now have no work ethic. And it's very hard for them to earn things because, they never had to do it in the first place. So you guys have to understand, like, if it's harder for you to earn things, that's actually a blessing. You know why? Because you're now in a state of mind of the actual human that's like growing. No one really wants to be the human that just gets everything and doesn't earn anything. That's not really how the human brain is like enjoys like like life experience, especially as a man. Like, you don't want that. What you want is either an average / mediocre experience in life that ends up turning into a greater experience because you earned it with hard work. I would say that's the best experience for a man. Maybe I'm looking too deep into it. Maybe I'm too cutthroat with the idea of earning all your, rewards and stuff. But the way I see it, I'm just like, okay, I do these certain things. I get rewards from it. What is what else have I been wrong about? So, like, keep that in mind that we're constantly trying to, like, win and, like, think of different things that are actually gonna, like, help us grow. And sometimes those things could be bad visions. And I'm not saying bad visions in the sense that, like, a bad plan. I'm saying a bad vision, like, what your life would look like if you don't even come up with a plan. You know what I mean? And sometimes for you dudes, you have to go a little deeper. Like, I notice some dudes, like, they have a girlfriend or a wife, and they have no motivation to go to the gym because they're like, what? I got my girl right here. I don't need any of that. Which, by the way, you sound stupid saying that, number one. Number two, what you need to picture in your brain is you need to go in your brain and say, okay, vision this in your brain right now. You and your wife or girlfriend walking down the street on a nice night out for dinner. You just treated her to a nice night out. She talked about how much she loved you and how much, she cares about you and all that. And it was just a really, really good night. And then some big guy that's a little, intoxicated, maybe on some drugs, definitely not super athletic, but like athletic enough to beat you up because you've never trained. And you need to envision yourself getting your ass kicked right in front of your wife or girlfriend. If you can envision this good enough, what it could possibly do is send like a primal trigger to your brain to not only release testosterone and growth hormone, if you really do it the correct way, but also it'll give you full motivation to become the strongest version of yourself, to become the most mentally resilient version of yourself, to become the version of yourself that's able to defend himself and fight possibly. So you have to take yourself to that point. And I mean, it's the same thing with money. You have to picture the idea that your kids are like asking you, like, what's for dinner? And you have no money to give them any food. Like, you have to envision what that would look like. Like, you have to envision telling your kid, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to eat tonight, and what their face would look like. You have to envision that. And I mean, if you even want to go deeper with it, man, there is many. I go way deeper with it. I picture everything. I picture like the worst of the worst, like literally the worst of the worst. Like, I picture like, like creepy people like trying to like attack my children. I don't even have children yet, and I'm already envisioning like me needing to defend them. That is going to release testosterone. So you have to kind of like manipulate your brain in a certain way to like get yourself to this point and state of mind of like, okay, like I need to do this. So it's the same thing with money. It's the same thing with training, but it's really the same thing with everything. Like, I mean, you could literally think of it as a comedian. Like, say you want to become the best comedian, right? Well, how do you get motivated to do that? Well, you envision the idea of you bombing it on stage, you doing horrible on stage. Like, the idea that you make a bunch of jokes and not a single person laughs at them. And if you can envision that hard enough, it'll motivate you to be the comedian that never has that happen to you. But you need to be able to envision the horrifying vision of it. And I know a lot of you guys like, I don't want to do that. That's scary. And I think you're mentally weak. I'm not gonna lie. And also you're not preparing for life at all the right way, because those big things are gonna hit you at once. So would you rather it hit you, or are you already ready for it? You know what I mean? So like I said, and I know a lot of you guys think this is a little, it's a little too much. Like, why do you have to think like this? Like, it's not all about that. But the truth is, like, you have to understand, like, when it comes to the realness of a situation, how strong you are and how much money you have is extremely important. That's what I've come to realize in life, is that, like, as a man, when it gets down to the realness of the situation, when it gets down to the actual, like, wait a second, like, it comes down to things, money and strength are two extremely important things to have. So if you have both those things, life's going to be a lot easier. And if you can optimize them both, it'll be a lot easier. And if you can as quickly as possible, envision situations of you not getting these certain things or not having these certain things, and what your life would turn out to look like if you don't get these certain things, and make it look horrifying enough, it'll motivate you to never have it happen. It's as simple as that. I know a lot of people, because again, this is where I kind of messed up and never really got motivated in the first place. Because my motivation before like 2020, the most mainstream motivation out there was the idea of a vision of yourself that you want to be. Okay, that was motivation. Like, you could be whatever you want. Like, go out there and be somebody. Like, be who you want. Like, that was motivation. And that motivation isn't horrible, but the issue with that motivation is you're not really triggering anything. You're kind of dopamine maxing in a certain sense by, like, getting them to be like, okay, like, I could be this. But my form of motivation is actually a little bit different, and this kind of came out more 2021, 2022, when I started at least learning about this stuff. My form of motivation was the idea of envisioning the reality where you don't win, the reality where everything goes wrong because you didn't do the right things. So it's almost like, what's your biggest fear? Like, a lot of people's biggest fear is trying in the first place because other people are going to judge them. My biggest fear is the version of me that didn't try and what that looks like. That's my biggest fear. So for me, the way I think about it, I'm just like, I'm only fearful for, these visions that I've put in my brain, that of me not completing my goals, not becoming as strong as possible, not becoming as rich as possible. You know what I mean? And not pursuing my goals the way that I want to. So keep that in mind, that you're constantly trying to manipulate your brain. And like I said, if the mainstream motivation doesn't work, if the idea of a version of yourself that's so awesome, if that's not enough motivation for you, then you need to think of the version of yourself that you don't want to be, and let it scare the living fuck out of you. I'm being so serious. A lot of people run better off of fear. You have to understand, like, are you more likely to, freaking do 10 push-ups if a gun's put to your head, or if you have to do it to, get your coach's approval? Like, which one are you more likely to get the 10 push-ups done? So I think sometimes fear can really instill a motivation of survival. And if you're a man, I mean, it'll just also trigger a primal response in your brain that can release growth hormone and testosterone if you really manipulate your brain the right way. That's what I'm saying. Some of y'all don't understand. Like, you could manipulate your brain to actually produce more testosterone if you really do it the right way. If you actually meditate and actually envision these things, you can 1000% do it, okay? Because at the end of the day, like, there's a reason that dudes in prison just grow muscle just purely off of situational things, because the situations get scarier, okay? They don't know what's up. They're worried about what's going on. Like, they don't feel safe, and that literally is going to put a response in their brain to say, I need to build more muscle. I need to get stronger and bigger because I'm worried I'm not going to be able to survive in here. So that's why that happens in prison. And if you can get yourself into a prison mode, not in prison, you could possibly build muscle like that as well. Now, does this mean that you should try to do this without working out? Fuck no. That's probably one of the dumbest things that you could even think of taking or even think that I'm saying. But I am saying that, biohacking your brain to get, these bothered things. There's another spider in my car. It's just going to be better. So, yeah. And this is just my approach. I mean, y'all could disagree with me. Y'all could be like, no, I think that motivation shouldn't be just something that scares you. Like, I don't think it should be, you should scare yourself into being motivated. I think that you should be motivated off of a dream. And I just think, like, look, the dream's great and all, but what if you are motivated off the nightmare? What if you're motivated off the idea that everything goes to shit? And not allowing that to happen. That's the thing. And you guys will learn this if you guys ever do, like, sales. Is that if you want to sell someone something, you're going to want to get to their emotional state. So you're not going to be like, oh, like, this is what you could be. You're going to be like, do you really 10 years from now want to be saying the same thing day one? Like, no, that's going to hit them hard. Because the idea of being in the same place after a long time and not changing, that could motivate someone harder than the actual, like, dream that they have itself. So keep that all in mind, guys, that you're constantly trying to vision different things that, you're constantly trying to envision different things that happen, like, that could happen in your life if things go wrong. And, I mean, like I said, you could do the vision if things go right, but I've just noticed that approach doesn't work as well for me. Yes, it's good to envision, like, sometimes for, like, dopamine maxing and, like, the actual creative part of it and the actual route of it that you want, like, thinking about it in, like, the long-term aspect. That's fine. But when it comes to the actual, like, motivation, like, the fuel and the fire to actually do it, that's got to come from a nightmare. That can't come from a dream. I don't know. That's just my approach. Maybe I'm a little cold-hearted about it. Maybe I'm a little, like, maybe I'm a little too, like, this worked too well for me, so now I'm just like, okay, this is just, like, the way. But that's the issue, is, like, when something works really well for me, it's very hard for me to not give advice about it. Even if there's a possibility that it might not work well for you, because different, perspective, different circumstances, different ways of using the techniques, different situations that involve different tactics. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, when I give this advice, I really truly do give it because I genuinely think it's going to help you. Like, I genuinely think, like, if you are someone that gets, motivated, or if you're someone with anger issues, or, you get bothered really easily, I think one of your biggest fuels is going to be being bothered and being motivated because of how bothered you are. And, like, obviously your current situation can motivate you too, like, hating your current situation. That could be very motivating. But the even more annoying part is the idea of your current situation staying the same and nothing changing. That's got to motivate you. If that doesn't motivate you, then maybe your life's chill. You don't need to change anything. But if you feel like, no, I do not want to be in the same place next year, I want to be bigger, stronger, better, then you got to change something. And that change comes from the vision. And that vision needs to be a nightmare. That nightmare is going to motivate you to never have that nightmare happen in real life. It really gets as simple as that, man. Like, again, you guys need to be manipulating your brain, okay? Like, some people are worried about manipulating other people. Like, you should be manipulating yourself. Like, most of your manipulation should be going to yourself. I'm being serious. Like I know there are certain people out there that, like, if they have, like, their friends, like, maybe, like, I don't know, 6 to 8 friends, and they're just constantly trying to manipulate their friends, or their so-called friends or whatever. And I'm just like, imagine if you spent all these manipulation skills and tactics and time manipulating on your own situation and brain. Imagine how much better you'd grow. Imagine how much more you'd progress. But instead, you choose to do it on your friends for, bad reasons to only get stuff out of them. And, now you're wondering why your life doesn't feel fulfilled. Like, if you can manipulate your brain, which Michael Jordan did, Kobe Bryant did, they all did. All the greats did. They all manipulated their brain because they knew they had to. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't be able to think like a normal human being. This is what I'm saying. You guys have to understand something. Why do people manipulate people in the first place? Because they're trying to change their state of mind. They're trying to not make them think rationally. Okay? So why do you think that Michael Jordan manipulated his brain? Because he didn't want him to think rationally. If he thought rationally, then he would have never made up in his brain that some dude said "nice game, Mike" to him, which bothered him and made him score 5 threes in the first, 15 minutes. You guys remember that? Because the dude said, "Nice game, Mike." Mike took it so personally and said, "Nope, I'm going to score on you this entire time because I don't like that you said nice game, Mike." Even though it was, probably really nice, he didn't like that. He thought it was disrespectful. He thought it was condescending, even though it probably wasn't. So then they walk up to the dude and they ask him, they're like, "Bro, did that dude really say nice game, Mike?" And Michael Jordan tells them with a straight face and says, "Nope, I made that up to manipulate my brain." So basically, what you're trying to tell me is this dude, who's almost in his 30s, right, made up an adult man saying nice game, Mike, to him, made up a statement to motivate him to do better in the game. What do you guys think of that? Because now it's not like the dude even said anything to motivate him. He needed to make up a fake story in his brain to manipulate his brain to not think rationally and score 5 3-pointers in the first 10 minutes. Unheard of at that time. Literally unheard of in the 1990s. So for me, I'm just like, bro, if that's the level of psychopath you need to become great, then so be it. So be it. Hi, how old are you? I'm 21. 21, yeah. But yeah, like I said, the manipulating your brain is a whole different kind of worldview that a lot of people don't even really like to delve into because they find it a little weird or maybe a little they almost find it as if they're patronizing themselves or I'm not stupid enough to manipulate myself. They almost feel like I can't be manipulated. You know what I mean? That's what they think. They think no, I'm the manipulator. I can't manipulate myself. I can't be manipulated. It's like you're already in the wrong state of mind. You don't understand any single human being can be manipulated, okay? The thing is, how do you allow yourself to be manipulated? The people that I watch, are they manipulating me into doing harder work? Yes, 1000%. I manipulate myself in a certain way by following people that tell me, I need to work harder, make more money, and get stronger. I manipulate myself in that way. But I'm aware of it, so I know that I'm at least getting better. You know what I mean? So you need to really, really, kind of go dark mode on your own brain. And be like, no. This is something I could fix. This is something I could change. This is something I could get better. And again, manipulating your brain is still growing your brain. You could manipulate someone into doing great. Telling them, keep doing push-ups, you're a piece of shit. That could possibly be manipulating them to do better. You know what I mean? There's all these different things, But my thing is this. The quicker you can learn to manipulate yourself, the quicker you can learn to envision these things to fuel yourself, but also just manipulate yourself in general to become better and just understand that there's so many different routes and different things. And you can look up YouTube videos on how to manipulate your brain to do better things. But I'm telling you, if you can continue to do that, that's where the secret is. That's where the control is. Because now you have control over your brain. Okay, and if you can have control over your brain, things are gonna be a lot easier. Nice, bro. Turn on, step back. I'll subscribe. I'm going to take 10-minute break. Going to do 50 good stuff. Can't do that many, so that's impressive. Thanks, bro. Yeah. Can you bully me into doing push-ups to failure? Bro, literally, what is going to happen if you don't do the push-ups and you never do the push-ups for the next 10 years and then some big-ass guy that's stupid, a little, intoxicated, wants to beat you up, and because you didn't do the push-ups, you're unable to defend yourself? Get to those push-ups, brother. Alright, guys. This has been a good stream. I'm probably going to end it here, though. It's been solid, though. I'm not going to lie. Y'all been good. Y'all been giving some good questions. We've been talking about some good stuff. And I'm not going to, I'm not going to hate on that. But it's time to end it. Time to, go tomorrow. Because tomorrow I'm waking up early. And I'll probably do a little stream of my hike. So, yeah. But don't quit. Become the best version of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually. And that's all I really got to say.